Welcome back, everyone. This is the third installment on this sectioning procedures on a rocker panel, and this is going to be pretty much the easiest one to set up, which is just going to be a butt weld, but it is a little bit harder to weld. So let's get started. I'm going to show you how we're going to do it. Okay, I'm going to get started by cleaning the E-coat off of here. I'll probably go a couple inches on either side of this line. I'm going to take and cut it. I'll show you how to set this up so we get a real nice gap when we butt weld this. Okay, if this is the existing rocker that's on the car and this is your replacement piece, once again, make sure your overall length matches. We're just going to overlap this, and I'm going to cut right through both of these, and that'll give me a nice even line all the way around. I'm going to cut back about 1/4 of an inch. I'll cut through both layers. I'll have to move the clamps once I get to the top and bottom, but then all we have to do is deburr our edges, put it right back together, leave that small gap, and weld it up. Okay, it's all cleaned up, ready to go. I'll get this clamped into place. I don't know why, but some of the car manufacturers now recommend a butt weld on sectioning on rocker panels. It's harder to weld underneath and get a nice weld. I think you have a lot more strength with the backer. I don't know what their thinking is on it, but if that's how they want it done, that's how it needs to be done. The problem I've noticed with doing butt welds like this, your replacement parts are never stamped identical to the factory parts, and edges don't line up all the way. They'll be a little bit, either they could be wider, they could be taller, so it's usually a struggle to get everything where you need it to be. Even clamping the same part together, it's hard to get it lined up perfectly. But that looks pretty good. I've got my welder adjusted off my cheat sheet to do a butt weld with no backer, so let's get started. Okay, what I'm going to do here to start, a little bit off on this top edge. I use my pocket pry bar, get this lined up, put a few tacks, and I want to put a few tack welds in here. If you just start welding, it's going to distort and warp. One's going to either drop down a little bit too low or come up too high. So I want to get a few tacks all the way around it, and then we'll fill it in. Okay, yeah, not the prettiest welds, but we'll get it cleaned up. Let's take a look, see how it come out. Doesn't look bad. Okay, it actually welded up pretty nice. It is a little bit rougher to weld overhead when you're butt welding with no backer, but otherwise it come out pretty good. Nice and flat, edges are lined up. All right, the butt weld with no backer, usually where I'd use something like that, it was on the upper section of a B pillar or an A pillar. Usually with the inner structure, you don't have room to get a sleeve or a backer in there or do an offset. Usually on a rocker panel, I'm going to do a butt weld with the backer or the offset. Another big area for doing a butt weld with no backer was on frame rails, but those are a lot heavier metal and a lot easier to weld. Toyota, you could buy front sections. GM used to have them, and they had the arrows stamped right in the frame rail where you'd actually section it. I think they've gone away from doing that also. Now leave me in the comments your thoughts on these welds. What type of sectioning procedure do you usually use? What do you have the best luck with? I hope you learned something from this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you already haven't done it, and thanks for watching.